Merry Christmas, friends. As we are in the midst of this Christmas season and as the year draws to a close, I wanted to take a few moments and lift up some things going on in the life of the church. First, just a reminder about our Christmas Eve services here at Jamestown. Remember, 3 o'clock is our family service that will be taking place here in the sanctuary. At 5 o'clock, from 5 to 6, contemplative communion, opportunity for you to come by with family or friends and spend some time in quiet meditation and receive communion. Then at 9 o'clock is our traditional candlelight service here in the sanctuary. Again, let me lift up the starting time. It's at 9 p.m. this year. Once again, at the Christmas Eve services, we'll be collecting an offering to support literacy in our local schools. Last year, you were so generous in giving to the book collection fund that we were able to buy hundreds of books for students over at Jamestown Elementary. Once again, this year, we'll be taking an offering and buying books for students who last year were not able to receive books. So I hope you'll support that ministry and be as generous as you were last year. Christmas morning falls on Sunday, as you well know. So this Sunday, we will be having one service, a Christmas Day service, 10 o'clock here in the sanctuary. Invite you to dress more relaxed. Some folks are planning on wearing Christmas pajamas. You're invited to do that if you like. There'll be sort of a different kind of service with a lot of singing. We're inviting our children to bring their favorite gift, their favorite Christmas present. And Mark Foster and I are going to be developing a children's sermon around one of the gifts that we select. So looking forward to that opportunity. Then again on January 1st, which falls on a Sunday, we'll have a 10 o'clock service as well here in the sanctuary. It's not too late for you to make good on your pledges for 2022 if you haven't had a chance to do that. Also, if you'd like to make a special gift to the operation of Jamestown United Methodist Church, invite you to do that. You can call the office today or tomorrow. Maybe perhaps the easiest way for you to be able to do that is get in touch with our business manager, Shannon. You can email her at Shannon, SHANNON, at JUMC.org. And Shannon will be glad to receive your gifts. Also, if you haven't had a chance to submit your commitment card for 2023, Shannon will be glad to receive that as well. Just thank you for all the ways that you are faithful to the life and ministry of this church and the difference it's making in this community and beyond. So thank you so much. Offer an update on the work of our discernment team. Reminder, if you have questions, if you would like to submit information, if you'd like to be in touch with members of the discernment team, there is an email address. That address is discernmentteam@jumc.org. Discernmentteam@jumc.org. Invite you to make use of that. Representatives from the discernment team are replying to questions and thoughts that you have shared with the team. We met recently, and here are a few things that I'd like to share with you. Our next town hall meeting will be on January 8th here in the sanctuary at 3 p.m. Reverend Earl Bradshaw, will be coming from Mount Pleasant to offer a presentation on the Global Methodist Church. Following that presentation, we'll have another town hall meeting soon after, with a representative coming to speak about staying in the United Methodist Church. And so we look forward to offering those two town hall forums with our congregation in the month of January. Just a reminder of the work that the discernment team is doing. Remember, the discernment team is not deciding on the future of Jamestown United Methodist Church. The work of the committee is to facilitate conversations, to provide information to the congregation about what's going on in Methodism today. It is to provide different points of view, as we are doing in January with the presentation of the Global Methodist Church and the presentation from Stay United Methodist Church. It is to answer questions that you might have, hence the email address and the availability for you to be in touch with the Discernment team. And then finally, the work of the Discernment team is to make a report to the church council. For it is the church council who will decide really the next step that this congregation will take. The church council is the decision-making body within Jamestown United Methodist Church. And so based on the report that the Discernment team provides to the church council can elect to do one of two things. One, it could elect to pursue the disaffiliation process, or it could vote not to pursue the disaffiliation process. Now let me add here that church council meetings, though all church members don't vote at church council meetings, all church members are invited to come to a council meeting. So when that meeting takes place, and we are anticipating that it will occur in early February, you will be made aware of the time and the place of that meeting so that you can come and be a part of the conversation. So the choice that the council will have to reiterate is, one, they can elect not to pursue the disaffiliation process, or they can elect to pursue the disaffiliation process. If the council elects to pursue the disaffiliation process, then a church conference will be set with our district superintendent, and a vote which will involve the members of the church will take place on a designated date and time. The Discernment team, as I said, met recently, and we feel confident that all of this can take place in February, which will meet the requirements that have been set in place by our annual conference for considering the future of each local congregation. A lot of information to share there, and I hope I've done it in a concise way. You're invited to, if you would like to email the team for further clarification, again, it's discernmentteam@jumc.org, or you can email me at david@jumc.org. One of my favorite Christmas stories was written by Rex Knowles and included in Guidepost magazine a number of years ago. And as I sort of close my thoughts here with you today, let me invite you to hear this story that Rex put together. It was the week before Christmas, and I was babysitting with our 4 older children while my wife took our baby for his monthly checkup. I was sitting there watching TV, reading the paper, when there was a knock on the door of the study where I had barricaded myself. It was Nancy's voice. "Daddy, we have a play to put on. Do you want to see it?" I didn't, but I had fatherly responsibilities, and so I followed her into the living room. Right away, I knew it was a Christmas play, for at the foot of the piano stool was a lighted flashlight, wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a shoebox. Rex, age 6, came in wearing my bathrobe and carrying a mop handle. He sat on the stool, looked at the flashlight. Nancy, 10, draped a sheet over her head and stood behind Rex and began, "I'm Mary, and this boy is Joseph." Usually in this play, Joseph stands up and Mary sits down. But Mary, sitting down, is taller than Joseph standing up. "So we thought it looked better this way," she said. Enter Trudy, 4, at full run. She never has learned to walk. She's always running. There were pillowcases over her arms. She spread them wide and she said, "I'm an angel." Then came Anne. I knew right away she represented a wise man. In the first place, she moved like she was riding a camel, and she had on her mother's high heels. She was bedecked with all the jewelry available, and on a pillow she carried 3 items, undoubtedly gold, frankincense, and myrrh. She came across the room, bowed to the flashlight, to Mary, to Joseph, to the angel, and then to me, and announced, "I'm all 3 wise men. I bring precious gifts, gold, circumstance, and mud." That was all. The play was over. I didn't laugh. I prayed. How near the truth Anne was. We come at Christmas burdened down with gold, with the showy gift and the tinsely tree. Under the circumstances, we can do no more. Circumstances of our time and place and custom. And it seems a bit like mud when we think about it. But as I looked at the shiny faces of my children, as their audience of one applauded and remembered that a child showed us how these things can be transformed, I remembered that this child came into this world and in so doing, eternally blessed the material. He accepted the circumstances, imperfect and frustrating, into which he was born, and thereby infused them with the divine. And as for the mud, to you and me, it may be something to sweep off the rug, but to all children, it is something to build with. I love that story. And this year, as we make our way to the manger, I invite you to bring your gold, to bring your very best, to bring your circumstances, all the circumstances of your life, the joys, the concerns, and then to bring the mud. Bring all those things that you wish had not have happened during the past year, maybe things you did that you wish you hadn't done, or things you didn't do that you wish that you had not done. Invite you to bring it all. Bring it all and lay it at the manger, and trust that God can do something miraculous. Merry Christmas. I'll see you soon.